Well, hey, welcome back. We're doing another one today, of course, because that's all I do. As you might be able to tell with my talking, I got stuff coming out of it. That's because it's a balmy 19 degrees outside. Don't let that sun fool you. It's chilly. We're currently sitting at 43 degrees here in the garage. I got my heater over here going. And today we are working on Bert again. Now, I know what you might be thinking by the title, and yeah, it's as bad as you think it's going to be. So, let's get into it. See what I mean about just stacking stuff on there? You know, you just stack stuff up and then it accumulates. Accumulates. So I'm currently, trying to get the garage to a manageable temperature, which it's working. It's getting there. I got to go through, get all this stuff off Bert. I got to close off my hole that I've been neglecting to close off because, all my heat's been going up and out. Yeah, so we're going to do that. And then, I'm going to start working on Bert here. Kind of did a little experimenting right there. And when I was experimenting right there, I decided, why not? So, as I was going through making another video, I had some Flex Seal out. And I was trying to, patch up my holes that are, everywhere on this thing. Because the heat is not that great. I don't know. I can't get it hot. It warms up. I can't get it where it needs to be for winter operations. So, honestly, it's been parked for the last probably two before Thanksgiving. So, I started thinking, I'm like, patching these holes up. I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just try something that I've wanted to try for a while? I figured, no, it's kind of janky. You're better than that. No, I'm not. So I decided I'm going to patch up all these little holes. Cheap. The most cheapest way I think I can do. And we're going to give Bert the Dollar General Body Shop body work and paint job. So I started by putting Flex Seal up there. It's the black stuff. I know, it's kind of rough. I'm going to try to massage it down, cut it down with a razor blade. It's still kind of pliable, tacky. But you know what? I don't have a big giant rust hole there anymore. So, and it's solid. Flex Seal, you can paint over it. So we're going to do that. Also, the thing I was talking about that I wanted to do is, when you got rust holes like this, you fill it up with great stuff. Now, if you don't know what great stuff is, it's basically expanding foam. That's chemical reaction happens and foam comes out and it expands, and it's for here. It's in a can. It's that stuff. It's for insulation in a house. It's for probably everything else but doing body work. But over the last couple of years, people have found, hey, I got big gaping rust holes, and why not fill it up with some good old expanding foam? Then what do? They cover it over with Bondo, sand it off, fiberglass filler, whatever, and it holds up. I've seen it a lot on O2 body style Silverados. A couple people at work, they've done it. Holds up. gets them through. And then I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not just try it out and see what happens? That way, you guys, if you want to try it, you can. If not, then you don't have to. But we're gonna fill up these big, giant, gaping rust holes with expanding foam. Then, since I already have a new fender for this side, we're going to put the new fender on. I got all 4 doors. We're going to put all 4 doors on. Have a new hood. We're going to put the new hood on. And driver's side fender, well, the one that I have is not good. We're going to try to find a cheap one. If we can't find a cheap one, we'll body work that one out. Because we're going to end up painting it too. I'm not going to paint it the traditional way either that one might think. Sorry for that hissing noise. It's the heater here because I'm cold. So we're not going to paint this the traditional way that one might think. You know, HVAC, gravity feed gun. You know, I'm not going to bust out the DeVilbiss and the DuPont paint and paint it up. No. Oh, no. See, years ago, my dad had a 1978 Toyota Celica hatchback. And he did a Dollar General bodywork in the driveway. Outside, he didn't even have a garage to work. Well, he did, but he didn't work in it. He did a bunch of bodywork to it. And guess what he did? He rolled it on with a paint roller. Yep. I don't know if he used house paint, deck paint, what the hell he used. But he painted it brown. And it actually turned out pretty damn good, honestly. It just had quite a bit of orange peel on it, but it turned out really damn good. So he did it again on a white 1979 Toyota Celica hatchback. That one turned out even better because it was white and you really couldn't tell. Maybe he used a different paint. I don't know. But, yeah. So we're going to do that. I'm going to use tractor paint. And I've been playing around with some colors. It's probably not going to be blue and white. We'll do a two-tone, I think, but it's not going to be blue and white. Anyways, before we get to paint, we gotta get to, bodywork's all done. So for no rhyme or reason, I'm just going to start here. This would be the passenger side quarter panel. You can see that we have, I didn't have my tetanus shot recently. We have a bunch of, damage. So this piece, unfortunately, looks like somebody was off-roading and they took some damage and went wham! Up in here. Wham! Up in here. And kind of bent the metal down. So a few simple tools. We're going to start by, trying to pry back some of this metal that bent out. And just try to get our curvature shape back to where it needs to be. This is pretty well gone. I'm not too worried about it. It is what it is. We're going to want to... I was going to leave that until I just found out how paper thin it was. So we'll delete that really quick here. So now we got another hole that we got to deal with. But I'm going to try to bend some of this stuff out and get it back to its original shape. Somewhat of a shape. Ow! I don't know. There's already a ton of Bondo I can see in it. I got to pull this trim piece off though because we are going to get up into here. It's going to be bad. So, let's pull that off. Something like that. Okay. Well, let's start by... The variety pretty solid. Whew. This Notice I'm missing the ring right here too. I bet you that's in the woods somewhere with a log. I don't even know what this is supposed to look like, to be honest with you. Maybe we're making it worse. How can it be any worse? You're loose. Got a ton of sand in it. That's good for it. Maybe we'll just kind of do that. I'm gonna grab the vacuum and vacuum out 50 pounds of dirt that are back there. Because, owie! That one hurt. Because our great stuff is not going to adhere to that. And if it wasn't December, I'd probably just hose it out, but it's December. Okay, so now that that's all pried out, cleaned out, if you're doing this the right way, of course we put a whole quarter on it, or the patch panels that I do have, I think come to here, maybe here, crossed. Now would be a good time to just slice it, put the quarter thing on. I'm not going to do that. It's like I said, my welder sucks. Gonna do this as cheap as possible on a budget. The roof already needs to be replaced, and I don't know. You got kind of your overall shape somewhat back to where it should be. Suppose you could take license plates and put them over that, and or piece of sheet metal, scrap metal, aluminum, I don't know, whatever you got, and cover it up. I show you what I gotta do. What I'm gonna do. I got a bunch of these little gutter things. They're supposed to go in a gutter. They don't fit my gutters. Got them for free. I'm gonna chop them out to how kind of a somewhat of shape from in here. Put some self tappers in so it holds it. And my goal here is to try to cover up as much of this as I can with this, because it's got a little screen on it. What I really wanted to do was, if you ever done drywall, you put like a piece of screen mesh over the drywall patch, you spackle it. That's kind of what we're going to do with this to hopefully hold in the foam. Use whatever you got laying around. If you got chicken wire, if you got duct tape, screen, gutters, use it. So I'm going to build this up quick. Hopefully kind of finagle it in there. Move on to our next step. What is that? I don't know. Let's do this first. So, kind of, maybe we can just use the mesh? No, it's thin. Okay. Something like that. Using a pair of tin snips, for the tin that we're cutting through right here. One song stuck in my head. The means, greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
Yeah, that one. I don't know why. All right. Put the big side down. Shove it here. It's nice that it's flexible. Something like that. There. Finagle it down like that. How are we going to get it to stay over there? How? How? That's what I'm asking you. Because I want it like that. Well, we really just need to have foam edge, something to hold it. Kind of like rebar. What if it's already kind of giving us our shape a little bit. That's nice. I like that. Huh. I'll play around with this with some self-tappers and see if I can get it in there just right. How many of you guys already got a cringe factor going on for doing this? Same. Not gonna lie. Why would I? Okay, now we got her in there. It's our general shape. Should hold. Now we gotta figure out a way to keep the foam from coming down because we got a little bit of, gappages right here. And for that, we're just gonna use duct tape. We're just gonna put a nice layer across here. And probably some on the back side here to keep that from getting a big blowout back there. Yeah, we'll just tape it off and see where we get to. I don't know. I'm learning with you guys. I've done some shady shit, but this is pretty shady. Alright, got the poverty chrome going on here. And let's just make some poverty out of it. This is the good stuff. What am I using this for? Ouch. Around there. Enough. Be afraid. All I got is this 2023 calendar laying around. That's whatever. We're gonna use that. Oh, it is 23. Crane Masters. Railroad derailment kind of stuff. See, they're doing derailment stuff. And they're doing track work right there. Fixing a blown up tank car right there. Anyways, stupid railroad. Okay. Take your floor mat. Grab your insulation foam. I just realized that this is up to 1 inch. They do have stuff, it's for like large gaping holes, but we don't have stuff for large gaping holes. We have the 1-inch stuff. So, read the directions. Probably says something about shaking it up vigorously. I don't know. I just hate these seals. Looks like it already kind of splooged out a little bit. Great. So the deal with this is the straws are kind of like one and done, I think. Let's read the directions. Read these carefully. Yeah, no. Just tell me about the straw. I don't know. Should be one and done. I think you can blow them out. I don't know. Let's just do it. Who cares? What we're here for. Ready? I want to start over there. Start right here. Go. Whoa. I don't know if that's going to work like I want it to. Wait now. Why aren't you working? You just were doing your thing. There you go. Okay. Filling up. Fill it up. It's supposed to puff up and do its thing like that. So yeah, decided to go back. Flex seal up there just because for whatever reason, if it turns out like shit, which it's probably going to, at least it's black and it somewhat blends in. That did me a whole lot of good breaking it off. Scoop you on there like that. Oh yeah. We're gonna, scoop it on there. Like so. Get our plastic filler spreader and we'll just, fill it in. Might as well just fill in this crack while we're at it. I've crisped some stuff in my days, but damn. This is a new level. New level for sure. That's what I did in the other ones. So I'm gonna let this stuff cure up. Maybe this afternoon. Maybe I'll come back at it tomorrow. Either way, back at it soon. Well, good morning. It is the next day. And yeah, back out here. Working on our foam quarter panel. So let's show you how it turned out this far. So as you can see, I ripped the tape off. And it's kind of puffed out. And it left me with some exposed areas. So I went ahead and I put on another can and I filled up some more crevasses full of the great stuff, and I kind of foamed it over here too to give me something to really, I guess, bite into, because we're gonna coat that with a coat of fiberglass filler to, fill it out. But yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll put another coat of foam on it. We'll see. And as for that, it's tacked up. We'll have to get kind of a cheese grater or something on there and knock that down, but it's still a little tacky. It's what happens when you work in a cold, 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 cold garage. So while that's drying today, it is early. I want to get a lot of stuff done. I'm going to start putting the doors on because I have new doors over there, new to me. Well, you guys maybe seen the video where I'm working on them. But anyway, we're going to throw the doors on, and yeah, I'll show you how to go through and adjust doors and make sure they're good. And maybe we'll get to the fender and hood yet today, but we'll see. So for no particular reason, I'm going to start on this back door, and she's seen better days. Very, very, very. It's gone.
And it's gone.
It is gone. You know. So to pop these doors off, you can undo the hinges. You know, 3 bolts here, 3 bolts there, or they got the little exposure here. There's 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and you can kind of, you know, knock it off. Pretty sure I went ahead and I did pins on the front doors. I don't think I did them on the back doors already. I don't know. Looks like I probably didn't because there's a... Yeah, the hinge and everything seems to hold it up. So no, I just did pins on the front doors. So we'll have to see how the front doors are, if they need pins. A couple bucks, we'll go get new pins, or maybe I have some. I don't know. Bushings, that's what I'm thinking of, bushings. Bushings and whatever, it's early. I need more coffee. So anyway, I'm going to knock this back door off and see what we get to. I think it's probably 9/16 if I remember right. Well, if you have never done doors, they're fun. They are fun. Some of you guys might be nervous, be like, well, how do you do a door when, you know, you got these openings and then you got to make sure that the gaps and all that stuff and everything, they're wide and narrow. Simple. You have to start with the panels that you can adjust. And what I mean is, quarter panel, you can't adjust that. Door, you can adjust that. You got to work your way from the back to where you got your stationary panels to the front. So you start with your rear, get that all adjusted where it fits properly. Move on to your next door, make sure you get that fitting where it adjusts properly. If you got to adjust your fender from there, you adjust your fender. You got to adjust your hood from there, you adjust your hood from there. You got to work from where you got stationary panels, the ones that you can adjust. You can't go crazy, slice stuff and weld and redo it. I don't know. But you got to work at stationary panels and work your way up. So these doors are really simple, as I mentioned. They're just kind of basic. I don't remember if, I'm pretty sure the one that we got on there is power. I'm not going to wire up any power stuff today. We're just going to get the stuff going. But let's knock this off. 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Basic tools you need on this, 9/16. Of course, I'm doing it by hand because y'all might be in your garage wanting to do the same thing. A jack. Might help if I put it on camera. And probably a block of wood or 4 to put on the jack to lift, you know, support the door and do. It's your second set of hands. So, gonna knock this out, pull this door off, we'll get the other one on there and we'll start adjusting. You know, I can do good body work once in a while when I actually want to. So the trick here is get the top all undone and then go to the top and get that one undone. Then you get the bottoms first, then the tops. The door's not going to fall off. Also, make sure roll down the window, so then that way you can support it and lift it up and do that kind of stuff. What did I say, bottom first? Yeah. You know, it'd be nice if I had some light in here. I gotta grab a light. So, I got the jack supporting on the door, and we're gonna go ahead and knock our top ones out now. The reason I'm leaving you over here is because my phone is dead and it's on a charger, and this is the only spot I have a plug to put it on, so that's kind of why we got the growth funny angles, but struggles. Apparently it wanted to just come off. It's ready to come off. It's like, you know what? I've been on here for 50 years. I'm ready. Ready for the fun part? Because here comes the fun part. Door's off. That wasn't too bad. Don't do that. Oh, I didn't break it. Just went flying. So pro tip to keep your nozzles from spraying and freezing is flip them upside down and give them a little so it unclogs it and doesn't paint up, and then you're good. So as you can see, this door that we are going to put on is one that we've worked pretty vigorously when it was on the stand. This is going to be a little tricky because it is a power window, and I'm not going to be able to roll that down. I mean, I could. I'm just going to try something different. We can hook power up to the pigtail there and try to roll it down, roll it up. But I'm going to try something a little different here. I'm basically going to take the door, put it on, and hang it off the striker, kind of like it's closed. And then we'll try to get our hinges and get it secured in there. Also, once we get that all hung and adjusted, you know, we'll have to address that, I guess. Remind me why I'm doing this again. Okay, let me get you guys set up some. Make me look like an idiot. Remember, these doors are very heavy, so I'm procrastinating. You got the latch part in here. Make sure it's like open. Yeah, like this, and it moves freely. You know, I don't know if you can see here, but you want it so it's like in the open position, so that when we pick the door up, we kind of slam it on there, and then we forget that our hardware's not in place. And, you know, try it, I guess. All right. Latches out, laces out, Dan. Something like that. Sure. Like that. like that, I guess. It actually went surprisingly better than I thought it would. Not out of the woods yet. Seem to have an excessive amount of play in that. Top one, I think, seems fine. And that's just a bushing in there, or pins, and they're worn out. This one, it's not as bad, but it's still not great. Top one's nice and secured. So we got a couple options we can do, because we're at this stage right now where it makes sense to do it. Can look and see if I got another pin laying around somewhere. Or we take that bracket off of this door and we put it on that door. That probably would be the easiest thing, because all it is going to be 3 bolts. 3 bolts. And we're pretty much supported at this point. I mean, that top one will hold it off, so that's probably what we're going to end up doing. That's the original one. That's the one that just fell off. And the reason we're doing this again is because that little bit of play that's in there, you can see how much it's moving this. That's gonna screw us for trying to adjust the door, and we're just gonna constantly be fighting it, and fighting it a lot more than just changing out this lower hinge. So it's good. Also, while we're talking body stuff, those are the original bolts that came out of the 74 hinge in the door. That's the bolt that came out of the 88, 89, I don't remember what year it was from. What's the difference? Well, you tell me. One's got a point on it, the other one doesn't. GM designed these so when you're trying to line up body panels and the bolt's not right, you can kind of get it in there a little bit sideways and it'll self-align. So that's a self-aligning body bolt. Pretty ingenious design for a problem when they could have probably just made the panels a little bit tighter. Whatever. I'm still a GM supporter. So I'm going to put this other bracket on. We'll rehang the door again, and then we'll start hopefully adjusting. Let's try to open the door. Something. So we got our hinges, they're loosely on there. Our door is just kind of flopping right now. We're going to want to go ahead and close it again. You can see when I started closing it there, it dropped down because our top hinges are loose. Now we just want to kind of start lining stuff up. Start with body lines, get those lined up, top edges. Try to get that centered. You want to just get the door, don't worry about the in and outs right now, just worry about the door fitting around. We'll fit it around, you can snug it up, then you can start worrying about getting the top sucked in, pulled out, doing all that stuff. Just get it to fit. And of course, we're going to worry about this gap first, because this is our solid panel that's not moving. So let's just see what happens when we latch it. It's latched, and we got a lot of stuff going on there. Top side, it's good. It's tight over here. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just go through and we're just gonna snug up the here and then loosen it up, move it around, shift it. You got a lot of adjustment here. You got the hinges on this side, you got the hinges on the door side that can adjust it. So start at one point and just work your way around until it fits in properly. So we got her on tight, and the body gap, we're kind of in right here a little bit, kind of wide through here, and we come over here, we're tight over here, and it's kind of sucked in. Tight here, open here, really wide there. Bottom along the rocker, we are not too great, not too terrible, I guess. So what we're gonna want to do is, I'm gonna get some paint sticks, I think, if I have some. Put it right there, give us our gap. I'll find something to give us our gap. We want to make sure that is good and this is good. What that'll do is if we lift this up just a little bit, it'll tighten this up over here. When it does that, this will slide over, give us a good gap right there. And we should be good. It'll lift up and put this. So we gotta essentially lift the door up 1/4 inch down over here. To get that, we could either try to get some out of our hinges here, lift those up, or we can go to these ones right here and try to shim them up a little bit. I think our better bet's going to be with these hinges and try to just get them up. They do have a little bit of play in there, but yeah, that's all the fun of Bodywork. I do have a paint stick right here, or shims or whatever. Say paint stick, that's probably a good size for your gaps. So just kind of go through, work them, test them. You can see it's, you know, it's bad there, tight there. Yeah. So we'll go through, make sure paint stick all the way around is good on our gaps, and that door will be wrapped up. And then we'll move on to the front one. Well, crucial step I forgot to mention. Pull your weather stripping out and your striker after you get it obviously hung, because that's going to screw with everything else. That can be adjusted afterwards, but, you know, trying to get your gaps gapped, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So take those out. Okay. So I got a good gap here. It's a little wide right here, not gonna lie. Good up top, a little tight over here, but it's good here. And then this one's a little bit down. Problem is gonna be is if I lift this up, I'm gonna lose my bottom gap, which I guess we could stand to go up just a little bit. However, we're gonna be up into the roof line at that point. I think for now I'm going to leave it like that. Our body line, that is dead on. Yeah, it opens, you know, like it should, and I think it'll be just fine. We can go through, tweak it a little bit more. Honestly, these square bodies, the stamping and probably the 25-year difference between this door and the body of this, it's going to be, it is what it is. So we can either make up the difference, just get it close, and then if we want to put a little piece of metal here, we can put a piece of metal here, make that up, or whatever. I don't know. Trim down the door a little bit. Whatever we want to do. All right. Don't scratch the paint. almost like I've done this before. Why are you so heavy? Close this. Yeah. We gotta go that way. Big gap, Fender. Popping so hard. So an unfortunate reality of getting that door to fit properly is we're gonna have to do some kind of a door shim or shim. So what they do is they slide into the bolt and they create the gap, the space, and you got to play with them on the different points and however many you put. If you put some towards, you know, pop some right in here, you're gonna spread it out this way. And if you see my pinky, it moved. Pull it out, it moves back. So you gotta adjust all that stuff in and outs. And unfortunately, it's just a lot of trial and error, like always. But also, I think that that's a rocker panel, is not quite where it needs to be. So we might have to massage that with a hammer and get it back to where it needs to be. Make it fit. So I'm gonna work on this. I'll give you updates when I get it fitted. So I've gotten the door up, or I don't know. I'll play with that in a second. I got it pretty much where I want it to be. Gaps, it's decent right there. Body line, that lines up. Of course, when we're closed, pretty decent all the way down. A little tight down there, but I can live with that. It does have to kind of come up and then forward a little bit. I can't get any forward adjustment on it till the fender's off. But, you know, for the most part, it's pretty darn close. So after thinking about this for a minute, what I was going to do is up here, it's hitting. And this whole frame, you can adjust it either in or out depending on wind noise and everything. I was going to take a block of wood, kind of put it in there and massage it a little bit and get this to fit a little bit more. But after thinking, it's got to come up and go forward because, you know, our gap up here is not the greatest. And over here, it's not the greatest. I want that to be just a little bit tighter. And in order to do that, we got to obviously pull the fender off. So I'm not going to do that because I don't want to tweak it and then have to tweak something back and whatnot. But yeah, hanging doors suck. So the foam is dried. Not really, I just a little wet in there yet. I just went through and I started carving chunks of it off with that thing. Just kind of get a general shape of it. And I don't know, I got a couple things, old potato peeler and hacksaw blade. I'm just gonna kind of go through and just shape it down, make it somewhat decent. Yeah, we're gonna let that fully cure. But get a general idea, general shape, I guess. Then we can, you know, get a good grind down to some metal and put some fiberglass filler on it, I guess. Well, hey there. Next day. And yeah, back working on Bert. So our foam right here is kind of dried out and it's hardened up. We want to sand it down some more. But I went to the store, I grabbed some more foam. I went through, I got a spot on the rocker I got to take care of because I never replaced this back rocker when I did the floor pans and the front rockers. So we're going to do that. I got the other side taped off, so we're going to foam that. And we're going to get into all the other little odds and ends of, you know, christening it. Okay, so I got that kind of sanded down. Went and picked me up a $3 cheese grater from the store, and I kind of just went through and I shaped it up. I got a little bit more I got to do to it, but that'll help get the foam pretty much taken care of. If we got these little pockets like this, we can add some more of that foam to it, but I think by the time we get it knocked down to where we want to in there, that should actually be pretty darn good, actually. For the Flex Seal up on the corners here, I don't even know. As I'm scraping through here, it's obviously getting into more and more from the previous Bondo work that was done on here, so I don't know. It's not really doing what I was hoping it was going to do. So, yeah, you can see it just kind of flaking out. So we might just pick all that out and then clean it up best we can and just slap it with some fiberglass filler and call it a day. But rocker, I got these filled, and that is, you know, drying. Other side's that too. I guess, oh, it's gonna ooze out, right? Look at that. I guess while that's doing that, I don't know, I might try picking that out. Or I might just try removing that fender and putting the other fender on yet. Haven't decided yet, but I'm getting there. Well, there's where it's at. It's kind of a little bit of sandpaper and 80 grit. We got her down to somewhat manageable. So I'm gonna slather on a coat of fiberglass filler. Let that set up, let that dry, and I don't know what I'm gonna do after that. Something, I guess. Said it before, I'll say it again. Bodywork is freaking boring. Doesn't make very good content. Just saying. I will say that my door right here got a crack in it because when I was putting it on, I probably need it and I cracked it out. That's great. More work. Well, as you just saw, it's all fiberglassed up for right now. Good, decent first coat. So we'll get that all, let that dry, and I'm gonna move on to hanging this fender. Okay, so now that the hood is off, you saw me struggle with it. Not really. 4 bolts, just be kind of careful with it. You know, put some rags down. Don't break your window. That would be good, or not be good. Anyways, so now to get the fender off, what do we got here? We got a bolt here. We got, I think, a bolt here, some bolts here, you know. And if I remember right, there's a bunch more bolts up underneath there, kind of thing. And then also we got the one here, and then we got one down there. So We're gonna want to not take the inner fender well out. So we gotta remove all of them just to get the fender off, because we just want the fender off. So we're gonna leave all that stuff on there. This stuff, you know, all the junk that you got in there, we can take it off. Probably all I'm gonna do is take the battery out because it's kind of in the way and we gotta get to the core support. But once we get that off, we can at least get that door adjusted up and get that situated. Yeah, what else do we gotta do? Oh yeah, we're gonna have to take the that thing off too. And I think there's some down there. I don't know. I'm just gonna get to it because I don't remember. Wires too. Okay, let's go. So we got to the one that was easier. The two that were, or that one was a struggle. Two up here. All of them down there. That little guy down there, right there, stripped out. I gotta probably do something there. And then we got all the ones in the fender here that are up underneath there. And then we got that one. Also decided to pull on the bottom of this fender to see how much Bondo was actually in it. And yeah, there's quite a bit. Looks like somebody already did kind of quite a bit of a patchwork to it, but is what it is, right? So now to get the rest of them off, because that one's not coming off, gonna do something that I've done many times. A little propane it, and we're just gonna heat it up and get it hopefully knocked off. If you've ever done this, make sure you don't got anything flammable around, but don't start yourself on fire either. What are we gonna do? We're gonna do this one right here? Sure. You just kind of go like that. Watch for little drippy things. Get it nice and hot. Oh yeah, we're gonna start a fire because I can already smell it. It's some kind of rubberized undercoating or something. So you want to heat it up. You can heat it up from here. You can heat it up from the inside of the fender, and then just work it off. Sometimes you just got to burn the junk off that's on there. So I'm gonna do this, and hopefully this fender comes off. Now we're getting on to something. Shim. So now I got this last little stuck one that's up here. So we got the almighty grips that are vice. You know, double as a body tool as well. And we're just gonna strategically bend the metal out of the way. Well, it rips like paper clip, you know. Get it on the spot. That's how it goes. And if that don't work, use leverage. You know. Leverage. I got some Lamborghini fenders, the ones that flip forward. Maybe I should try salvaging this. No, not worth it. Why are you just... Oh. Literally held on by like thread on the core support. Come on. Come on. Nobody wants you on anymore. Nobody wants you on anymore. Come on. Come on. I gotta get my tools out of the way. Ready? 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 That's how it comes off. So that little bugger right there is what caused our troubles. I just want to be part of the cool kid, don't I? As simple as that. Just like that. Okay, well, let's assess our damage. So, you can see I tried to fix it once upon a time. That happens because of the battery acid. Back here, I didn't know what the hell happened there, but I had my patch over it like that. I couldn't even tell. So we're probably just gonna repatch it up, but I had to get it opened up for there. And yeah, I can see the box right here. We'll probably have to treat on that because that leaks down water, and that's where mice get in from. Cool. Awesome. That's probably a mouse carcasses. I'm touching it. Gross. Anyways. So, yeah. I guess it's good enough. That would be a good time to change out the inner fender well if we had to. Oh, I know what that torn from. Because we had to get to this. Because I didn't feel like taking it all the way apart. Or I did, and the bolts. That's right. That's what that's from. You just got to look at it and remember the work that you did once upon a time. Right? Right. Okay. So, we're going to, I don't know, figure out some kind of, I think, L bracket for this. All right. Let's go shopping in our scrap pile. What we got going on here? So, that. I don't know how well that worked. Piece of aluminum. What's this? That might work. Old heat shield. I don't know what that's from. Oh, that's kind of thin. Old sign. Oh, let's see what these do. Now, if I remember right, that was for, I think I used it in the floor to bend the shape. I don't know, I found that on the road or something, so that might be a good candidate. Maybe we can, wow. That actually fits surprisingly well, to be honest. I wasn't expecting that. Huh. Well, what about this guy? It's got a weird bend to it, too. Put that in there. All right. What? Look at that. It's like notched out right for the bolt hole. It's like I already did that or something. Huh. Well, I like that because it fits in there a little bit better. It's already kind of cut. It's a little more solid. This is a piece of aluminum, but that's already like done. All I gotta do is put the screws in it. This I actually gotta cut. Not gonna see it because it's gonna be the battery box. I don't know. Maybe I'll just get the battery box and see how it fits. Plus, we got to rebuild that. So maybe this is a better candidate for rebuilding that. Or not. Maybe we'll just leave it too. I don't know. All right. If I rebuild, I got trays up there. Why don't I just put a tray in here instead of trying to finagle up something? We don't do that. Okay. All right. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to get back to adjusting this door since the fender is off now. And now we can get to our brackets here. Hopefully get it slid forward, get it, all symmetrical and how we want it to be because we got no fender on it. And you want to, like I said, solid parts of the truck you gotta match it up to, and then all the other stuff's adjustable, right? Right. So let's get on to that. Sounds like we're rubbing on something. I know exactly what we're rubbing on. But our body line matches up. That back door gap is actually pretty darn good. We just gotta, I guess, maybe go forward a little bit. And bottom gap here is a little tight, taut. But now I'm looking at our back one. Our back one actually can get adjusted. Just a tickle right here. I think if we come back just a little bit, tighten this up a little. I don't know. I'm gonna play around with this, see what I can come up with. What's that cat goes? Oh.
Huh?
Huh.
Huh?
Huh.
Huh?
Okay, I'm gonna play with this. So I've gotten this about adjusted as far as I can get it. We're all the way forward here, so now unless I massage this part, I can't get any more over this way, which I need because my gap back here needs to go in just a hair. And we got room in the bolts because they got adjustment a little bit. So yeah, I'm kind of at a standstill. I gotta adjust that pinch tab in that way. Hopefully I can get enough out of it. If not, I don't know. So I'm gonna wrap this one up. Kind of a long video. Part one of probably part 500 of doing body work, because body work. Got a lot accomplished though today. We got some more holes filled. We got panels hung. We got panels unhung, and made a mess. I'm an idiot. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching. Stay tuned. Next part coming up when, I don't know, whenever I feel like continuing working on this thing. See you then.